Someone else's success does not disqualify the possibility of you being successful from occurring in your life. And today I'm going to talk about where this topic is coming from, and hopefully you end with a positive takeaway in this video, as will I. First, I'd like to address that I'm not typically like a hood up type video guy, but I just got done doing the Stairmaster for 20 minutes on like level 13. So you'd best not see my hair right now. However, recently on this channel, I outlined the fact that my business hit a pretty big milestone in 2025, closing above the $100,000 marker, which also I'll say is not like exceptional. There's plenty of people doing way more, as I'll outline further in this video now. With that said, after accomplishing that threshold, I made a video illustrating how I did that and how other people can maybe use that information to do something similar in their lives. And I've made 2 out of 3 videos on the topic so far. The first one was related to establishing a deep content knowledge base, as well as an understanding of how markets are cyclical in nature. Next, and like 2 days ago, I made a video illustrating step 2, which was make an actionable business plan. In that video, I went on to illustrate the 3 ethical ways that people are making money in Pokemon cards right now. And gave some suggestions on how that might be approached from like an entry-level perspective and their barriers to entry. Check that video out if you haven't already. But on that video, there's like 4 comments not made by me. I try to reply to everybody because that just like kicks me in the algorithm in a positive direction right now as my channel grows. So shout out to Deej Thinking. He's the only person that so far has put a positive comment on that video, a non-cynical in nature comment. And he outlined pretty clearly how hard work supersedes everything in life, and I agree. Now, the first comment that I would like to not crash out on, but address, is step 1, borrow daddy's credit card. And I thought that this one was like particularly cynical and dismissive, and also inaccurate, because I've illustrated on this channel how my family did not grow up prosperous in terms of finances. And a lot of members of my extended family, parents included, are like not wealthy now still. So no silver spoon has ever been in my possession. And actually, anyway, I'll just move on from that. So number 1, like you don't have to be leveraging somebody else's financial situation in order to propel yourself forward. Though you could solve rich people's problems, and that's not a bad business strategy in any market. The second comment I'd like to address said something along the lines of, step 1, clear out your local retailer. And I think that comment was in reference to scalping, like going to Target or Walmart and clearing out their store shelves. Some people are doing that, man, but scalping is not one of the 3 things that I illustrated doing in my video, nor do I advocate for it. However, if you want a knowledgeable takeaway from this video, then you might want to hear that whenever scalpers are present within a particular market space, it is a good indicator that demand has skyrocketed. Thereby, liquidity is peaking. And the cool thing is, if you're a person who has like collected or had Pokemon cards or whatever the item in that situation is, it means that you're going to be able to sell your items easier and probably for more money. So that's a good indicator, though scalping is something that most people disagree with, myself included. So no scalping, no scalping necessary. The next comment, and this one I think came from a place of like just, I say ignorance, but not in an offensive way. It's just like lack of knowledge, I believe. But this person said something along the lines of, yeah, maybe you can make $100,000 in 20 years. Well, you could do that by following my 3rd suggestion and least suggested suggestion from that video, which is investing. I illustrated in that video like all the barriers to entry to investing. And also, I'll say that I know people who are investing in Pokemon and One Piece cards, shout out Gumbrave, who have far surpassed that number in a far shorter amount of time than 20 years. So keep your chin up, right? I'll say like my personal example, and I am not an exception here. If anything, I've been underperforming relative to like my knowledge base and like time in the hobby and exposure and stuff. But like I started with $400 of seed money, and in 3 years scaled to 6 figures. And again, I think that I've actually underperformed personally, which is why a big goal of mine entering the 2026 year is to work more, work harder. I need to have higher output to reap the benefits of like what I know and what I'm capable of doing, what I have the infrastructure to accomplish. So I just want to go on and say, like, not to be like putting anybody down or whatever. Like, I understand that sometimes like the perception of accomplishing things, particularly with money, like prior to this year, I'd never seen $100,000 of anything in my life. And I don't have $100,000 in my bank account, but over $100,000 passed through my bank account this year, specifically with Pokemon. That's not considering my full-time career. It's not considering my side job of teaching jiu-jitsu on the weekends. Like, that's just Pokemon cards. And so with that, like, I don't know, like, it's going to be very hard to be successful financially if you count yourself out of the race before you even take a step. You know what I mean? Like, if you're thinking that way, like, oh, someone else is successful, therefore I cannot be, you're kind of like putting your own limiters on, and it's a foolish way to go about your life. Though I understand psychologically where that like take can be coming from. And I think that that is like a more commonly held belief than what many people vocalize. But I will say that like any successful advent does not come from sitting on your couch, fingers covered in flaming hot Cheeto dust, typing cynical comments on YouTube videos that are literally giving you the roadmap to be more likely to be successful. So with that said, I just want to say, like, again, I'm not a special person. The things that I'm doing are not special. There are many people doing this, and many people who are doing this at a much greater capacity than I currently am now. So if anything, what that shows you is it's possible, okay? Same thing, like, right now you could go check out Jeff Nippard on YouTube and get a really good idea of how scientifically you can get jacked. Like, if you want to get in good shape this year, check out Jeff Nippard. Shout out to him. Been watching him for years. You can build a lot of muscle, but it's going to take consistent effort over time. Like, you're probably not going to get, you know, even if you're like gearing up or whatever, like you're juicing out, you're probably not going to get absolutely yoked in a year to the fullest of your potential. It's going to take consistent effort over time. And that same thing is true if you're trying to like learn how to knit sweaters even, or get good at jiu-jitsu. Like, whatever the case may be, whatever skill-based adventure you're trying to accomplish or like take part in, the common denominator here is the ability to be consistent over time. And I think that most people are not disqualified from success due to lack of available options. Is due to lack of high outputs, like lack of dedication, lack of discipline, lack of doing. And so I hope that this doesn't sound as like me being judgmental or condescending. I'm also not putting myself on a pedestal, or at least I'm not attempting to. I only make this video to outline like what are some negative takes that will hold you back, and hopes that everyone who's watching this will do better for themselves. So with that said, I hope you do something great today. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.